Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends of the Basketball Champions League, a warm welcome to all of you from the Patrick Bowman House of Basketball here in Switzerland. Last September, there were 52 clubs at the starting line of the 7th season of the Basketball Champions League. Some of them had to go through the qualification rounds, others started in the regular season, but one thing they all had in common is that they began that campaign hoping, dreaming to lift this beautiful trophy in May. After months of trials and challenges, 8 teams are still on track to fulfill this dream. Today, they will find out the road that awaits to get even further. They will find out the opponent that stands between them and the Basketball Champions League Final Four. But first, let us remind ourselves of what they had to go through to reach the quarterfinals by having a quick look back at the action so far.
Can they get it? This is the moment. They've got the win!
Gotta aim for the top like
Amazing!
hold up. Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game.
Behind the back, easy pass.
Unbelievable. For the sun like Diddy. The richest got a mad ass son. I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up. Team with me. But known for my city like OAGs. Step passes long as you finish. Super find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. Gotta aim for the top.
Here we go. Let's go.
I got you with the switch, you know. I'm in the zone. Give me the point. One shot, that's all that you got.
30 seconds to play. It's Smith to win it, potentially.
Pressure fight.
Oh, shit.
You can be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element.
Some spectacular images from an action-packed first part of the season, but something's telling me that the best is yet to come. So let's get back to the reason we've gathered here today, the quarterfinals draw. And to conduct the draw, we've asked for the help of 2 players. Both had phenomenal careers, both know all about what it takes to reach the BCL Final Four. Let's find out who the first of these 2 very special guests is. Let's please welcome former Spanish international and member of the Lenovo Tenerife team that won the first ever Basketball Champions League title in 2017, Mr. Fran Vázquez.
Thank you.
Fran, welcome to the House of Basketball. Thank you so much for being here and assisting us with the draw. You lifted that beautiful trophy back in 2017. What memories does that season bring back?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. Come here, our home, and I have nice memories. It was the first year on the BCL, and I won. I to see with the man in the competition. You know, a lot of teams, different teams with play, and then we are the big prize is winning it. You know.
6 years later, Coach Chus Vidoreta, Team Abromaitis, our Dornekamp, they're still on that team. They want to bring a 3rd trophy to Tenerife. How do you look at the evolution of the club and what's been the key to their success?
Each year, he proved more than the last year. And he united fundamental prize for don't lose their back down, you know.
We talked about Tenerife. Now we're going to talk about another team that you know pretty well, Unicaja Malaga. You spent most of your career there. They're having a spectacular season, Copa del Rey champion. How far they can go?
I don't know. It's a team where they do not say the limits. They won, they lose, and then lose their mentality for playing. You know, he played hard, and they continue this moment. You know?
Thank you very much, Fran. You
Welcome.
can take your position just right here.
Thank you so much.
Now, our second famous guest is someone that I think, Fran, you went up against more times than you can count with the national team in the Spanish league. He also reached the BCL final stage. It was in 2020. Let's watch and see who it is. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage former Lithuanian international BCL 2020 runner-up with AEK, Mr. Jonas Mačiulis. Good morning, Jonas, and a very warm welcome to the House of Basketball as well. Thank you for being here. Your former team, AEK, reached the quarterfinals again. I think the last time they did so, you were on that team. From your experience about big games, you know, whether it's in the BCL or in your career, what do you think makes the difference at that stage of the competition?
Oh, well, the difference is in the small details. How good you prepared, how, I don't know, your concentration, and everything in this stage is about small details, how good you do that.
Talking about small details, head coach Ilias Katsouris was on the coaching staff, I think your first season with AEK back in 2018-2019. What do you think of the style of play he's been developing with the team, and what are AEK's chances to reach the BCL Final Four?
I mean, I know this coach very well for many years, and even before AEK. And I'm happy that he finally became a head coach, and I know his style. I know his, I mean, more or less like typical Greek style, not so many fast breaks, more set play. I know him very well, and I wish all the best, of course, to AEK. And they reached again this stage, and they have all the chances. Okay, they have some players missing after some injuries, but they have all the chances to win the trophy.
Well, thank you, Jonas. Let's see if you bring them luck. You can stand there. Now is the perfect time to have a look at the 4 seeded teams in today's draw. These 4 teams won their respective round of 16 group and therefore will have home court advantage in each best of 3 quarterfinal series. Let's watch together.
It's heavy.
Today,
Farewell, reclaim the lead. The 2 is good from Carrington.
this is the alley-oop try!
Nice dunk. Oh, what a finish from my Harrison.
Throws it down. They don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Different truth. I'm far for any else
Here's the
scenario.
chance. Sonny!
Stay woke. Please don't get caught sleep. End up showing what you read. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost inside of me.
Drives in. Oh, goodness.
To take the shot on, and somehow he got there.
With the left hand with a nice finish from Kessing.
A rebound taken by the host. Who are getting on top. TJ Shorts again.
Real me. Made in this image. Young
Look at this bounce pass. Oh, Zukowski goes in.
Well, these are 4 strong contenders, but you know there is no small team at this stage of the competition, and especially not in this season 7, which has been one of the toughest so far. Which teams can be their possible opponents in the quarterfinals? Which teams finish second in their respective groups? The answer is in the next video.
Okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Never stopping, I'm keeping it going.
That was a beautiful pass. And it's a great finish as well from Selniak. Get it back pretty quickly, and look at that. We're the team going into the third quarter, remember?
The TV coming in soon. I didn't leave it all up to a variant or an experience. You gotta get
was a little bit shy. And it's third, I'ma get into it first. Shit, I'ma get into it first.
So fantastic last week. Now what a setup.
Key now, run your screen, B3. It's so sweet. I hate me that I'm repeating like Peter on water. I'm stepping in deeper. They know that I'm coming like follow the leader. I'm taking a chance today. Standing inside of the kitchen, I turn on the heat. I'm gonna turn on my
Yannick, one more time. Are you serious?
Chance to three.
Down the middle goes in. Radovich puts him up front and a kick. Yeah, one.
I think I speak for everyone when I say we can hardly wait for these quarterfinal matchups. But the good news is we're almost there. So please welcome to the stage the CEO of the Basketball Champions League, Mr. Patrick Komninos, and the competition's senior manager, Mr. Dejan Lekic.
Dear FIBA President, dear FIBA Secretary General, ladies and gentlemen, good morning from my side as well. Warm welcome to Fran, to Jonas, here at the Patrick Baumann House of Basketball, and thank you very much for being with us today. First of all, I wish to congratulate the 8 clubs that have qualified for the Basketball Champions League quarterfinals after the conclusion of a very hard-fought regular season and a round of 16. The competition system we have in place with 4 groups of 4 teams each in the round of 16 and the high level of quality of the participating teams meant that we had thrilling games up until the final buzzer of the second group stage that just finished. In effect, since the start of the seventh season of the Basketball Champions League, we were lucky enough to witness numerous highly competitive games and the highest level of play in venues across 16 different countries in Europe. The attendance numbers and the TV viewing audience that this season has attracted so far are the best testament to this, as more than 500,000 fans have watched BCL games live in the arenas and more than 40 million cumulative viewers on television. By now, teams and fans are all fully aware from the opening tip-off of the Basketball Champions League season in October that every game does matter. At this point, there are only 8 teams left to contend for the trophy, and there is no margin for error for any team that aspires to lift the Basketball Champions League at the pinnacle event of the competition that will be held in May 12th to 14th of that month. So, we are ready to find the path that these teams will need to navigate to reach the Final Four. An opportunity to review once again the seeded teams that are in the ball in front of Jonas, and they are Hapoel Bank Yahav from Jerusalem in Israel, Lenovo Tenerife from Spain, Telecom Baskets Bonn from Germany, and Unicaja Malaga from Spain. They will be drawn first, and then, in order to find out their opponent, we will have the options that are available to us by the computer because there's still one restriction applicable at this stage of the competition. The teams that have faced each other in the recent round of 16 cannot face each other at the quarterfinals. So once Jonas has drawn the first team, then the computer will indicate the available options that then Dejan will put in front of Fran to find out the opponent team. Quite straightforward, and I am sure everybody will follow this closely. We are ready to start. So, Jonas, let's shuffle very well and find out the first team for these quarterfinals. And it is Telekom Baskets Bonn from Germany. They're actually the only team in this lineup of 8 clubs that has never been at this stage before, so a double welcome to Bonn. It is the 4th German team that reaches this stage of the competition. A very impressive season for Bonn this year. They have won the last 11 games in the competition, only the 3rd time in our 7-year history that a team manages to win more than 10 consecutive games. So the options for Bonn at this stage quite straightforward. It could be one of Ajax, SIG Strasbourg, or UCAM Murcia. They cannot, of course, be drawn against Baxi Manresa. They just played each other in the round of 16. So, Fran, please shuffle well and find out the first quarterfinal pair. And it is SIG Strasbourg from France. Fourth appearance into the quarterfinals of our competition. They actually made it to the semifinals in 2021 when the event was held in Nizhny Novgorod. So we do have our first pair of the competition. It will be Telekom Baskets-Bonn against SIG Strasbourg. As Chloe already mentioned, it is a best-of-3 series, so first game will happen in Bonn. A week later, the teams will move to Strasbourg, and if there is a need for a third game, the following week, they will return to Bonn. Very clear? Jonas, let's find out the second pair. Second seeded team is Hapoel Bank Yahav from Jerusalem. They are the third time here in the quarterfinals. They made it in 2019, they made it in 2020. They've never made it to the Final Four, so let's see if this will be their opportunity. Three options available for them, one of AEK, Baxi Manresa and UCAM Murcia, because of course Strasbourg, they were in the same group, but they have already been drawn against them, so we still have three options. Fran, let's find out who the opponents of Hapoel Jerusalem will be. And it is AEK from Athens. Along with Strasbourg, the other team that has been 4 times in the quarterfinals. Of course, we know AEK, they made it to the semifinal twice, winning the competition in 2018. A very impressive statistic for AEK this year. 8 out of their 9 victories have come after trailing at halftime. So not an easy game in any chance. So the second pair, Hapoel Jerusalem versus AEK. We are halfway there. Jonas, let's continue finding out the next pair. I think we can actually start speaking Spanish from now on, if I see this correctly. It is Lenovo Tenerife from Spain. 6th participation of Lenovo Tenerife at this stage of the competition. 5th consecutive presence in the quarterfinals. They are, of course, our title holders, also winners of the first edition. But they don't do this the easy way, they do it the hard way. They have the best defense in the Basketball Champions League with an average of 70.3 points conceded, the best defense in the Basketball Champions League this year. Actually, there can only be one choice, so right now the draw does not have the level of excitement that we would expect because, of course, Tenerife faced Murcia in the recent round of 16, so they can only face one team, Fran. But let's make sure we know how to pronounce Baxi Manresa. And it is Baxi Manresa, finalists last year against Tenerife. Now you will have the chance to meet each other at the quarter-final stage. Manresa, 2nd consecutive appearance in the competition. And of course, in Gerrit Harding, they have the top scorer of any teams still left in the competition. Gerrit Harding has been scoring 225 points so far into the competition. So we have our third pair, Lenovo Tenerife, Baxi Manresa, a repeat of the final from Bilbao. And Jonas, it should not be a surprise that Fran's former club comes out. It is Unicaja Malaga, 2nd season in the competition, 2nd consecutive quarterfinal appearance. Malaga, they have a great season. They just won the Copa del Rey. They're also having a very deep roster. They have players coming off the bench scoring 44 points on average, a very impressive number for any team, and it shows the depth that Malaga has this year. And their opponents can only be not coming from far away in the Spanish continent. It is indeed UCAM Murcia, back in the quarterfinals since 2018 when They advanced to the semifinals in Athens, to the Final Four in Athens. A very impressive statistic that shows also the strength of UCAM Murcia. They have won their last 16 games, and with 84.9 points per game, they have the best offense in the Basketball Champions League. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the quarterfinal. Let me quickly repeat the pairs. Telekom Baskets-Bonn versus SIG Strasbourg, Hapoel Jerusalem Bank Yahav versus AEK, Lenovo Tenerife Baxi Manresa, Unicaja UCAM Murcia. This concludes now the draw. All 8 contenders know what it will take for them to reach the pinnacle event, as we said, 12th to the 14th of May. An opportunity for me to thank you, Fran. Thank you, Jonas. Teams will come to you and either be very happy or very disappointed, but we believe that at the end it is a very exciting quarter-final stage. Thank you very much for your participation. On court, off court, always great to have you with us. So, with this, ladies and gentlemen, I wish the 8 participating quarterfinals the best of luck. We will be seeing half of you in the month of May at the Final Four. And let me now invite Chloe back on stage.
Thank you very much, Mr. Komnenos. Thank you, Mr. Likic, and thank you to Jonas and Fran as well. And a big thanks to all of you for attending this ceremony in person or watching the live broadcast. The Basketball Champions League quarterfinals tip off on April 4th. To all the teams competing, best of luck. And to all of you basketball fans around Europe, one piece of advice: do not miss it. Thank you again, and goodbye.
Thank you, Fran.